Welcome to Gorilla Ticket Fighter, a presentation of the National Motorists Association. With the purchase of this tape, you have made an important first step toward being a victor instead of a victim. Gorilla Ticket Fighter is not a discussion of the law's fine points or a detailed description of traffic court procedures. In fact, we want to emphasize that this is not and should not be construed as legal advice. It's a no-holds-barred strategy session on how to fight traffic tickets and win. Traffic enforcement in the United States is primarily about money, power, and political agendas. Highway safety is an excuse, not a reason, for most enforcement actions. Police departments and local courts are subsidized and supported by traffic tickets. Individual police officers and many judges are evaluated and promoted on the basis of how much ticket revenue they generate. In general, the traffic ticket system is corrupt and rotten to the core. You will not prevail in a battle with this system by being a nice, compliant citizen who plays by the rules. The guerrilla ticket fighter uses tactics that exploit the ticket system's greatest weakness, its need to generate cash and show a profit. The ticket system starts to hemorrhage the instant you plead not guilty. When you plead not guilty and prepare to fight your ticket, the profit the state or local government expected to enjoy is all but gone. You may have heard or read local reports that the government wins 97% of all traffic ticket cases. What you're not being told is that 95% of all traffic tickets are not contested. The victims pay up without a fight. Half or more of the drivers who seriously contest their tickets win, and the remainder usually end up with reduced fines or plea bargain arrangements that are far better than the penalties that were originally assessed. Keep in mind that these legalized extortionists know that you are more concerned about demerit points on your license and insurance surcharges than you are the traffic ticket fine. The more outrageous money mills will even offer a deal that if you pay more than the original fine, neither the state nor your insurance company will find out about your ticket. It almost makes you forget that this is all part of a grand program to improve highway safety. One last point before we move on to specific strategies and tactics. Fight your first ticket. Don't wait until your license is in jeopardy. Traffic cops have nearly instant access to your driving record. They're much more likely to look for an excuse to pull someone over if they see a long list of convictions on their driving record, particularly a DWI conviction. If you have multiple convictions on your record and you're stopped, you're more likely to get a ticket. And if you're tried, you're more likely to be found guilty. Sure, it's illegal. Sure, it's not fair. But that's the way it is, and forewarned is forearmed. Let's start by being forearmed on how not to get a ticket in the first place. To start, we will not insult your intelligence by suggesting that you steadfastly obey all traffic laws, since it's probably humanly impossible and can often be dangerous when speed limits are set arbitrarily low. Rule 1. Don't stand out in a crowd. Moving significantly faster than the rest of traffic, weaving from lane to lane, living in the left lane, and always being at the front of the pack makes you a prime target for a ticket. Traffic radar cannot tell which vehicle is speeding, but if the officer sees you passing another car, he will associate the radar reading with you. Rule 2. Use your eyes. Placing blind faith in a radar detector is a good way to get a laser or VASCAR ticket. The effectiveness of a radar detector is also diminished if you are driving in very light traffic. Scan the road far ahead of your vehicle. This is not only good ticket avoidance advice, this is a good way to avoid accidents. You'll see suspicious vehicles and people along the shoulder, cars parked on overpasses and ramps, brake lights popping on at the crest of hills or entering corners, and you'll have time to slow down without scraping the bottom of your front bumper on the highway. If you see oncoming vehicles flash their headlights, be wary of an accident or speed trap ahead. Rule 3. Use your rear view mirrors. Periodically glancing at your rear view mirrors will greatly reduce your susceptibility to tickets. The warning signs are simple. Is a suspicious car rapidly gaining on you from the rear? Did the trooper who exited the expressway pull right back on, only now he's behind you? Is there a Chevy Caprice, Ford Crown Victoria, or Ford Mustang doggedly following your every move? In any of these situations, discretion is the better part of valor. Slide over to the right lane and meld with the traffic. Rule 4. Pay attention to the truck traffic. If the truckers have all turned into model citizens and they're plodding down the highway at 55 miles an hour, you can be reasonably sure that something is amiss. There could be an accident up ahead, or bad road conditions, or a speed trap is in place and awaiting a victim. Regardless, any of these circumstances merit caution. Rule 5. Pleasant weather breeds traffic law enforcement. Very few tickets are issued on days when the wind chill is 40 degrees below zero, or when a ruthless sun turns roadway asphalt into a substance that is neither liquid nor solid. Under these conditions, driving 10 or 15 miles an hour over the speed limit just does not attract the ire of the constable on patrol. But balmy spring days and pleasant summer weekends are another story. This is the weather for speed traps, roadblocks, and enforcement binges. Okay, let's assume despite your best efforts, you still see blue and red lights in your rearview mirror. What should you do? How should you react? There may still be a way to salvage the situation. It's called walking in the other guy's shoes. In this instance, the other guy is a police officer. Remember, despite the well-publicized aberrations, police officers are human beings who respond in the same way we all respond in our relationships with other people, especially those we don't know. If, despite your best efforts, you are ramrodded through a kangaroo court where evidence and due process were ignored, give serious consideration to an appeal. A higher, more legitimate court may recognize the injustice you've endured and overturn the guilty verdict. As mentioned before, most states virtually guarantee the right for at least one appeal. The appeal may require retrying your case, or simply reviewing the records from the first trial. Another word of warning, court rules and state regulations may conspire to trip up defendants who are unfamiliar with the appeals process. You should know the requirements and time limitations for an appeal before your initial trial is even held. The courts do not like or encourage appeals. The courthouse crowd will do its best to sidetrack your appeal by taking advantage of any small errors or oversights you might make with the process. Yes, fighting a ticket involves some time and effort, but so does walking or riding the bus for 6 months because you lost your license or can no longer afford auto insurance. To fight back is to win. Even if you're ultimately judged guilty, you have won. The state lost money persecuting you. The ticket racket has been made less profitable, and your days as a compliant victim are over. So take 'em on. It's one way, one person can make a difference. For more information about the National Motorists Association and the services it provides, please call us toll-free at 1-800-SPEED-TRAP. That's 1-800-773-3387. Or check out our site on the World Wide Web at www.motorists.com. Either way, you can obtain membership information that includes further details about our legal assistance program, attorney referral service, legal defense kit, our panel of experts, and our popular traffic justice program, where we pay for your speeding ticket if you lose your court battle.
vehicle.